Hello viewers, welcome to our channel Career Prep. In this video, we'll learn about the concept and formulae on the topic mensuration. Mensuration is an important and scoring topic of the quantitative aptitude section in competitive exams like GRE, GMAT, SSC, RBI exams, railway exams, and so on. There are different formulae to solve questions on this topic. So, knowing and applying these formulae is very important to do well in this section. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as we post a new video. So, let's start. Let's now understand the concept of mensuration. Mensuration deals with the measurement of different geometric shapes and figures like triangle, square, parallelogram, circle, cube, sphere, cylinder, cone, etc. It involves the calculation of areas, perimeters, volumes, etc. of shapes. We'll learn about the two major types of geometric shapes, two-dimensional, also known as 2D, and three-dimensional, also known as 3D shapes. A 2D shape is a flat, plane figure and has only two dimensions, that is length and breadth, whereas a 3D figure has three dimensions, that is length, breadth, and height. Area and perimeter are the two common parameters we measure for 2D shapes. For 3D shapes, volume, total surface area, lateral surface area, and curved surface area are calculated. Let's now understand the meaning of some important terms used in mensuration. Area. Area is the surface enclosed by a given shape, and the SI units for area are meter squared or centimeter squared. Look at the diagram here. Here area is indicated by the yellow color. As you can see, it is the surface enclosed by the rectangle. So here area is represented in yellow color. Perimeter. It is simply the boundary length of a figure. The SI units of perimeter are meter or centimeter. In this diagram, the perimeter would be the boundary length of this rectangle. So this is the boundary of the rectangle. And this boundary length of the rectangle is the perimeter of the rectangle. Volume. Volume is the space occupied by a 3D shape. The SI units of volume are centimeters cubed or meter cubed. Now, as you can see here in this diagram, this is a cuboid, which is a 3D shape because there are three dimensions here: the length, the breadth, and the height. Now, the space occupied by this cuboid, which is represented here in yellow color, is the volume. Here, volume is indicated in yellow color. Lateral surface area. It is the sum of the areas of all the surfaces excluding the top and the bottom areas of an object. The SI units are meter squared or centimeter squared. Let's look at the lateral surface area of a cube. Now, lateral surface area of a cube is nothing but the area of the left side surface plus the area of the right side surface plus the area of the back face plus the area of the front face. As you can see here, the lateral surface area excludes the top area and the bottom area. Curved surface area. It is the sum of the areas of all the curved surfaces of an object. SI units of curved surface area is meter squared or centimeter squared. Look at this cylinder. The surface marked in blue color is the curved surface area of the cylinder. Here the top and the bottom surfaces are flat. Only the area indicated in blue color is the curved surface. So the area of this curved surface would be the curved surface area of the cylinder. Total surface area. It is the sum of the areas of all the surfaces of an object. The SI units of total surface area is meter squared or centimeter squared. Look at this cylinder. The total surface area here would be the top area plus the bottom area plus the curved surface area. Understand the meaning of all these important terms which will help you while solving problems on mensuration. Let's understand the meaning of a few more important terms like length, breadth or width, and height or altitude. Length is used to measure the distance between 2 points. Length is the longest dimension of a figure and it shows how long the given object or figure is. The SI units of length is meter, centimeter, inch, etc. Breadth or width. Width is the shorter distance of an object or a figure and it shows how broad or wide the given figure is. The SI units of breadth is meter, centimeter, inch, etc. Height or altitude. The height of an object refers to its depth or the third vertical dimension of the object and it shows how high or deep an object is. The SI units of height or altitude is meter, centimeter, inch, etc. Now let's understand these terms better in 3D shape, 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Now as you know, 2D shapes have only two dimensions, length and breadth, whereas 3D shapes have three dimensions, length, breadth and height. Now look at this rectangle which is a 2D shape. Here the distance AB is the longest dimension and this is the length of the rectangle. The distance BC is the shorter distance of this rectangle and this is the breadth of the rectangle. Now let's look at the cuboid. Here this distance is the longest distance, longest dimension of the cuboid and this distance represents the length. Now this distance is the shorter distance of the cuboid and this distance represents the width of the cuboid. The distance here is the vertical dimension of the cuboid and this distance shows how high or deep the cuboid is. So this distance represents the height. So in a cuboid, this is the length, this is the width and this is the height. Let's now understand what is meant by base. Base is the bottom of a figure. In a 2D shape, base is the bottom line of the figure. In a 3D shape, base is the face on which the figure rests. But the top is also called a base when it is parallel to the bottom. The perpendicular line from a vertex to the base is called the height. The SI units of base are meters, centimeters, inch, etc. Let's understand the term base for 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Look at the rectangle here, which is a 3D shape. Now here, if we consider this as the vertex, then this line would be the bottom line of the triangle. So this bottom line would be the base of this triangle. Now the perpendicular from this vertex to the base of the triangle is called the height. Now let's look at these 3D shapes: cylinder, cone and cuboid. Here the base is the face on which the figure rests. So this would be the base of the cylinder, this would be the base of the cone, and this would be the base of the cuboid. Now, when the top is parallel to the bottom, then the top is also called the base. As you can see in this cylinder, the top is parallel to the bottom. So the top of the cylinder is also called the base. In this cuboid also, the top is parallel to the bottom. So the top is also called the base. Let's now understand the meaning of a few more important terms like the vertex, face and edge. Vertex. The plural of vertex is vertices. A vertex is a point where two or more lines or edges meet. Vertices are the corner points. Face. The flat surface of a 3D shape is called its face. Edge. In a 2D shape, an edge is a line segment on the boundary joining one vertex to another. It is also called the side. In a 3D shape, an edge is a line segment where two faces meet. Now let's understand these terms for 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Look at this triangle, which is a 2D shape. Now we know that a vertex is a point where two or more lines meet. Vertices are the corner points. As you can see here, these two lines meet at this vertex. Similarly, these two lines meet at this vertex. Also, these two lines meet at this vertex. So these three corner points are the vertices of this triangle. We know that an edge is a line segment on the boundary joining one vertex to another. So here this line joins this vertex and this vertex. So this line is called the edge or the side. Similarly, this is another edge or the side of the triangle, and also this is another edge or side of the triangle. Now let's look at this cube and understand the meaning of the terms vertex, face and edge. Now vertex is a point where two lines or edges meet. They are the corner points. As you can see here, uh, at this point, these three lines meet. So this is the vertex of the cube. Similarly, all these corner points are the vertices of the cube. The flat surface of a 3D shape is its face. Now, as you can see in this cube, this is the flat surface of the cube. So this is called the face of the cube. Similarly, this is also a face of the cube. Also, this is the face of the cube. An edge is a line segment where two faces meet in a 3D shape. Now, as you can see here, these two faces of the cube meet along this line segment. So, this line segment is called the edge of the cube. So, in this cube, these corner points are the vertices of the cube. This line segment where the two faces meet is the edge, and the flat surface of the cube is known as the face. Hope you have understood the meaning of the terms vertex, face and edge. Let's now understand the meaning of diagonal. In a 2D shape, the diagonal is a line segment that connects any two non-adjacent vertices. 3D shapes have two types of diagonals: body diagonals or space diagonals and face diagonals. The body diagonal of a 3D shape is the line segment that cuts through its center, joining the opposite vertices. The face diagonal of a 3D shape is the line segment joining the opposite vertices on every face. Now let's understand the meaning of diagonals in 2D shape and a 3D shape. Look at this rectangle, which is a 2D shape. We know that in a 2D shape, the diagonal is the line segment that connects any two non-adjacent vertices. So in this rectangle, uh, the word the vertices B and D are the non-adjacent vertices. So the line segment that connects these two vertices is the diagonal. Similarly, C and A are the non-adjacent vertices. So a line connecting these two vertices is also a diagonal. Hope you understood the meaning of a diagonal for a 2D shape. Now look at this cuboid, which is a 3D shape. Now in a 3D shape there are two types of diagonals: body diagonal and face diagonal. Let's look at the body diagonals first. Now we know that the body diagonal is the line segment that cuts through the center of a 3D shape, joining the opposite vertices. So in this 3D shape, if you consider this vertex, then the opposite vertex to this point would be this vertex. So the line segment joining the opposite vertices and passing through the center of the cuboid is the body diagonal. So this line is the body diagonal because it joins the opposite vertices of the cuboid and passes through the center of the cuboid. Similarly, if you consider this vertex, then the opposite vertex to this vertex would be this vertex. So the line joining uh, these two vertices and passing through the center of the cuboid would be the body diagonal. Similarly, for this vertex, this would be the opposite vertex, and the line joining these two opposite vertices and passing through the center would be another body diagonal. Similarly, for this vertex would be the opposite vertex. So the line joining this vertex to its opposite vertex and passing through the center of the cuboid would be another body diagonal. So the body diagonal of a 3D shape is the line segment that passes through the center of the 3D shape and connects the opposite vertices. Now let's understand what is face diagonal. Now face diagonal is the line joining the opposite vertices on every face. Now if we consider this face of the cuboid, then the line joining the opposite vertices of this face would be the diagonal. Supposing this is one vertex, then the opposite vertex to this would be this vertex. So the line joining these two opposite vertices is the face diagonal. Now if we consider this vertex, then this would be the opposite vertex of this face. So a line joining these two opposite vertices of this face would be another diagonal. So for this face of a cuboid, there will be two diagonals, 1 and 2. Similarly, for this face, there will be two diagonals. Similarly, for this face, there will be two face diagonals. Hope you have understood the meaning of body diagonal and face diagonal for a 3D shape. So a body diagonal is the line segment that cuts through the center of the 3D shape, joining the opposite vertices. Whereas the face diagonal is the line segment joining the opposite vertices on every face of the 3D shape. Hope you have understood the meaning of diagonals for 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Let's now understand the meaning of a few terms used in shapes like circle. Circumference. The perimeter of a circle is called its circumference. Center. The fixed point at the middle of the circle is called the center. Radius. The constant distance from the center to any point on the circumference of the circle is called the radius. Diameter. A straight line joining any 2 points on the circumference of the circle and passing through the center is called the diameter of the circle. Now let's understand the meaning of these terms with the help of this diagram. Now here in this circle, this is the perimeter of the circle. This is also known as the circumference of the circle. Now this point here is the fixed point at the middle of the circle, and this point is known as the center of the circle. Now the distance from the center of the circle to any point on the circumference of the circle is the radius. So this distance from the center to any point on the circumference of the circle is the radius. Now if you consider this point on the circumference of the circle, then the distance from the center to this point on the circumference of the circle is also the radius. Now this distance and this distance is always constant. A straight line joining any 2 points on the circumference of the circle and passing through the center is called the diameter. Supposing these two are two random points on the circumference of a circle, then the straight line joining these 2 points and passing through the center of the circle is known as the diameter. So this line passing through the so this straight line passing through the center of the circle joining 2 points on the circumference of the circle is known as the diameter. Hope you have understood these terms with connection to shapes like circles. Viewers, Please go through this video till you have understood the meaning of all the important terms used in mensuration. Please do watch our video 2D shapes, properties and formulae. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.